Welcome to Ferocious Achiever. I'm James Hepner, founder and CEO of Hepner Results Coaching. We turn successful achievers into high-level achievers, grow their authority, expand their capacity to maximize all of life, and help them create a life that is vibrant and rich no matter the outcome. We help successful people stop the self-sabotage, raise their standards, and participate with unshakable confidence, creating more gains with less strain. We believe that every person has a unique message that can positively impact the world. Stick around to the end of the show where we'll reveal how you can be our next guest in 20 to 25 minutes. Let's go. All right, friends. So today we have with us on the show someone who I know personally. I used to live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Dr. Derrick Fredrick. He's a former chemist and he's turned chiropractor. So that's interesting. Chemist turned chiropractor. He owns and operates a thriving holistic medical practice in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And Derrick, I'm just going to stop right there. I got a few other things to say, but I'll say welcome to the show. This is fantastic. I get to have you here finally.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about it. I hopefully will have some great things to offer, and from both business aspect and personal aspect, life experiences, and I'm just thrilled to be here.
That's fantastic, folks. Derrick is someone who, and when you listen to the podcast, you're going to get a keen sense of this. He loves growing and he loves contributing in unique ways that benefit not just, of course, his clients, but the community. And there's something really unique about him in that he's always looking to align with cutting edge technology to, just awaken the power of the brain and the body. And so when I lived in Winnipeg, I was under his care, like I was saying, and you're going to want to listen and really tap into Derrick and who he is, because Derrick is a person of impact. And he's, like I say, he's always keenly, he's tuned in to what's available, and he brings these things in. And so you're going to want to listen, because there's something unique that he's bringing to his clients. And so listeners, if you're someone from Winnipeg or chiropractors, if you want to tap into like the next level, you're going to want to listen. There's a special part in this little talk where he's going to reveal that. So to begin with, what I like to do is just ask you to share with us, maybe a 3 or 4 minute max story. And so take us back, give us the origin of who you are as a person. And then, of course, help us understand, how did you get into chiropractic?
Some great starting points. Who I am as a person. Well, I would say that I really want to maximize my experiences in life. I also feel that I have a lot to contribute to humanity, both in health and wellness and just experience. I really connect with my patients on helping them achieve their maximum potential in life, not just when they're getting a chiropractic adjustment, but I love to give them some feedback on where are they headed in their lives. Do they have a plan? Like, what are they excited about? It's chiropractic is amazing in itself, but I think just the fact that they're in my office, I have a lot more to offer to them than just the adjustment, although that's super powerful. So that's where I come from, a personal being. I also think it's super, super important to stay connected, grounded to Mother Nature. So that's been a big part ever since I was a little kid.
Well, clearly, so you're sitting in front of Mother Nature, and you like to take your canoe out there and carve a little path, and maybe even find the shore and have a little fire, right? Find yourself a deer that you can, take into your scope, or maybe do some fishing. So there you go. Keep going.
Yeah. So even to this day, like you said, I love canoeing. I love going wilderness. I don't like the crowds really. So we'll go backpacking, portaging the canoe, set up remote. And I think that's where I get to ground myself back to nature. I will go, people might think this is a little crazy, but I'll go for a week at a time by myself into the bush and walk 12, 13 miles every day, which anyone who knows, that's a lot of work.
Especially when you're walking in the bush. Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
walking on a clear path. You're like breaking bush.
yeah, and it's just what you see,
Mm,
what
mm,
most people never get to see, you get to see. I
mm,
encourage anyone to do that for sure.
mhm, mhm,
What
mhm,
else about myself? Well, just was lucky to be raised by great parents. Um, you know, I think now, with this time where there's a lot of stress involved, and just
mm.
little cues that I've picked up along the way from both my parents and grandparents and that kind of thing. Just little sayings like when you get down, and my mom would always say to me, "Well, don't start feeling sorry for yourself. Get your butt up and get moving, right? And you'll feel better." And things like that.
Yeah,
Even if you have a cold, right?
yeah.
So all these little things, if you're paying attention to them, they can
Uh,
really shape and guide you, I
mm.
think, for the better in your life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So how did you go? What I'm curious on is how did you go from and share with us, how did you go from being, you became educated as a chemist and then you transitioned into being a chiro, which by the way, and before you even maybe answer that, I know when I was under your care, to your point, when I come into your office, there's a few chairs in the office, there's an adjusting table, I have a little seat, and then you'd walk in and we just chat for a couple of minutes you know and
yeah,
so when I think about that, you clearly have an interest beyond just in out. It's you build a relationship, you understand someone, you listen to what they have to say, you feel them out, and you get and I remember when I laid on the table, I remember thinking, how is this person able to serve me and support me in such a massive way in such a short period of time? And I think it's, when you, like you say, groundedness, when you're out in nature, when you tap in and you become one with what's in front of you, all of a sudden, there you are as my chiro, but it's like exactly where the pain is, how to address it, and how to access it. So it's beautiful. But listeners, just feel that and ask yourself, how isn't that just absolutely spectacular? Like there's a little sunset or sunrise, whatever that is. I don't know which direction you're facing there, but that's what we all want. We want somebody to kind of tap in. But back to the question on how did you go from a chemist to chiro? Because I mean, it is a medical leap. It's from one medical to another. But what had you go, okay, chiro is the thing?
yeah, it was really through personal experience,
Mm,
and then and the current work conditions I was under. So
mm,
I'm not going to say too much negative about the work stuff. However, what I realized was, okay, it was a great government job. I'd taken myself basically to the highest level I could without becoming a PhD. And then the government had actually put in some stops that said, well, you can't go any higher. And I'm
uh,
like, what do you mean I can't go any higher? Well, I got a lot more in me to give, and you're saying I can't. I said, well, this has got to change. So then I met a
wow.
chiropractor through an accident. Actually, I
Hmm.
got rear-ended. He came in and he just basically
Mm,
started telling me about the power of the body and
mm,
nature and how it heals. And I'm going, hold it, this is what I've always believed. How come I've never heard any
mm,
other profession talk about this, in the healing profession? And so I actually started up care, and the first thing I noticed is
mm,
really improved my pitching. I was a pitcher, fastball,
mm.
and the fellows after the game, they said, "I don't know what you did today, Freddie, but you do that again on Thursday," right? And I said, "Well, the only thing I did different was I went and I got a chiropractic adjustment." And sure enough,
Wow. Wow.
that whole year was my best
Mm,
year ever in
mm,
ball. We, won the provincials, won
mm,
titles, MVP, all that kind of stuff. I said, hey, this is not coincidence, right? This is something more. And so the chiropractor, then his name is Dr. Bob Champagne. I don't mind sharing his name. He's my mentor as well.
mhm,
Said, Derrick, maybe you should consider chiropractic. Your other job isn't giving you any life movement, and
mm,
you'd be a great chiropractor. Why don't you think about it?
mm,
So basically 5 years later, I moved my family down to Atlanta. Had a kid already, gave up a great job. So there was a lot of risk there involved for me, but I had the faith, confidence, and belief that I could do that. And, again, with some mentorship from Dr. Champagne. And, the 4 years went by, and that's where I learned more about the power of the human body and how it has this incredible ability to heal if you take care of it and
mm,
if you
mm,
give it attention.
mhm,
um, and so yeah, I moved back to Winnipeg, worked with Dr. Champagne for another year, and then we had goal setting. So for those entrepreneurial types, every month we would sit down and do goal setting, and
Mm.
at the end of the year we had a yearly goal set. And he says, so Derrick, tell me, without hesitation, what are you doing in a year? I'm like, well, I'll either own this practice or I'll be out on my own. You should have seen his face drop. It's like, what? Yeah. Okay then. And you know what? I guess I planted the seed. And 3 months later, he said, you know what?
Mm.
I'm going to go on sabbatical. You run
Mm.
the ship for 3 months. I'll see how you
Mhm.
do. If
Mhm.
if you can serve my patients better
Mhm.
than I did,
Mhm.
then you're a fit. And sure
Mhm.
enough, at that point, we made offers, and I took over the practice. And 26 years later now, I own the practice and really have enjoyed every minute of it. Of
Mm.
course, every business owner knows there's times that are tough, but I still love what I do, and I think
Mhm.
that's a part of where we started. My love
Mhm.
for connection. You asked me,
Mhm.
James, a little
Mhm.
bit about
Mm.
how can I fit that all in 5 or 7 minutes.
Mhm.
It's all about focus, present
Mm.
time, right? And just
Mm.
really caring for each individual and say, okay, now what can I do to help with that?
Mm.
And that's
Mhm.
adjust and maybe offer a little life experience if they want it. But focus is the key, and present time consciousness, and
I
that's
love it.
where
I love it. I love it. So good. What do you think? There's many chiros out there, and I don't want to cue this up as in like what makes you better. Sometimes we ask these questions. What makes us really stand apart from other chiros, or what makes us as a leader is someone that's different? We can all tell, like, of course, your personality. Everyone's got a little bit of a different personality, so your personality, of course, makes you stand out from other people. But if you look at like specifically the profession of chiropractic and how you lead in chiropractic, what do you think distinctly sets you apart, makes you different? There are a lot of great chiros,
uh,
but this makes you different. Yeah, yeah.
well, I believe that I'm always keeping up to date.
Mm,
Like I'm not looking for the next best thing. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking
mm,
for things that can move, my patients forward and move me forward.
mm,
Life is a constant learning process. When we stop learning, we really start dying.
mhm,
And so I really, I read a book every month, something
mm,
different. Sometimes it's an audible book. Sometimes, I'm reading about the brain. That's kind of what I'm really into right now. And how the brain, we haven't given it nearly enough
mm,
credit for how it can adapt and create
mm,
new
mm,
neural pathways. And that's
mm,
where chiropractic is actually heading. So I'm actually really excited about that. So I feel that's a part of maybe what makes me a little bit different is I'm excited about continued growth.
mm,
So I'm
mhm,
always excited when I come to the office. I'm excited to see how my patients are doing. They're not always doing better every
mhm,
visit, but over the
mhm,
long term, honestly, I honestly believe in my heart, like 99% of everyone who walks through that front door, they get better. And part of that's your mindset. I believe
mm,
that too. Um, so constant growth, I think, wanting to love and serve.
mm,
One of my I guess mantras is to serve everybody with love. When they walk through
mm,
that front
mhm,
door, you're gonna give them the best you have. Given your time, and most people get all they want, out of a 5 to 7 minute adjustment. It's
mhm,
not all
mhm,
about the adjustment. We call it the adjustment with something extra,
mm,
right? And
mm,
that extra is that love, that real care that
mm.
you're there
It's
for them. I
beautiful.
think that's a
Yeah.
big part of it.
That's a massive part. And I'm just going to take myself right back. I know when I walked into your office one of the first times, you have this beautiful reception table, and I think you had a fish tank or something there, and you had this bowl of fruit. I remember thinking this fruit is probably like plastic fruit. And I'm sitting there, and one of your CAs, she comes and she chats with me, and she gives me the intake form, and I'm doing this stuff. She goes, "Would you like a piece of fruit?" And I look up, and I think she's joking, right? And no, this fruit. She's literally, you can have a piece of fruit, a real piece of. And so, I think at the time, I don't know if I had an orange or, but I had something, and I remember looking and just sitting back, looking around, sitting back, and just observing, and being like, "This place is different. these people, they actually go beyond just like the aesthetic. They're here to have you take in the experience, right? So what I like to do now is I like to take this moment and I like to shift it into leadership. And Derrick, you and I, we've been working together for some time, a couple of years.
Yes.
You're one of my clients. I'm a strategic coach. And so you, of course, you own a practice, you operate a practice. And so you have other chiros that work with you. You have CAs. You have the expectation of yourself, and people have the expectation of you to be a good leader so that they can work with you, not for you. So
Right.
what have you learned is just essential for you to have as the business owner, for people to honor, value, and respect and be drawn to work with you.
Right. Well, I have in my mind what I know my team needs
Mm,
to be effective here,
mm,
not just to be a great employee, but I really believe in helping them get the best out of their life,
mm,
right?
mhm,
So yes, do I want them to be, efficient and
mm,
productive and all that good stuff, but I want them to come here and feel great that they've contributed, that they have been
mm,
productive, that they have room for growth themselves. I
mm,
provide an environment of learning and and like you said, the respect and treat everyone equally, and we truly are a team. It's like a clock.
mm,
If one gear isn't working, the clock doesn't run. So we truly have to be all on the same page. We have weekly meetings, we have weekly training, um, and it's not just chiropractic stuff. Like last month we had our annual goal setting. Well, we didn't actually spend a whole lot of time on the office goal setting. I said, okay, here's 12 areas of your life. Where do you want to improve? So it's very
mm,
personal driven. So I
mhm.
feel that's why, they work with me and they work hard with me. And then, we move ahead just because I really care about them
Mm.
too. I just want to provide them a job. I want to provide them an opportunity to grow. So
That's
I think that's
fantastic.
the big part of it.
Yeah, that's fantastic, right? When people feel like they're more than just an asset to help you build your kingdom, you know,
Right.
we so many of us we say we hear things like, I don't want to just build my kingdom, I want to build that kingdom over there. And I think that requires for us to like go beyond and actually ask ourselves, okay, wait a minute, what am I building here? Am I building so that it all comes back to me, or how can I make this that the people here in my business, they're actually experiencing what I want my clients to experience. And so you're bringing the client experience actually into your staff, and you're able to give your staff, not just that you're calling from them things, but you're able to supply them and feed into their life. And I think, as a business owner, the ultimate pure fulfillment comes when we ask ourselves, do I contribute only when I feel like I have to? Or is this actually who I
Right.
am at the core? And so I think that is, again, you and I have been working together for years and years and years, and we can go on forever about this. But listeners, this is who Derrick is. Derrick is just about ensuring that his people, his clients, his staff, any aligning partners, that he's always fueling into them, and he's interested in their life and ensuring that he can help them along a little bit. Now, what I'd like to do is, earlier I promised that we would talk about things that are, you are passionate about, but not just passionate, but really excited about. And so there's something that you mentioned to me on a couple of calls ago, and you said, my next 20 will be my best 20. Okay. So talk to us. What are you most excited about in your business today?
Right now, I'm actually most excited about the new technology that's come
Mm,
out. It has been out for a couple of years, but not that many
mm,
chiropractors have it. It's called the Neuro Infinity.
mm,
It is a piece of equipment that can measure your brain waves, specific brain waves, and how they respond under stress, how they
mm,
respond under recovery time, and then how the chiropractic adjustments specifically are going to allow your brain to function
mm,
better. They can
mm,
include everything from sleep brain waves to stress, anxiety, even focus and concentration. So, that can help a ton of people if you just think about that. If we just help people sleep better, which we know right
Mhm.
now is a major concern, but with kids and their phones and even parents, more particular, it seems to be women have a little more difficulty than guys for some reason, but all this stuff can be,
Mhm.
rewired.
Mhm.
And that's what we're talking about, that neoplasticity. So that's what I'm super excited about, is to get that out into the community. So, I've made a big investment in it. I didn't have
Good
to. I
job.
mean,
Yep.
I just, but I just like, what's going to take me to the next 20? Well, gosh, that for sure will give me more than enough material.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's an opportunity to elevate people's brain health.
Mm.
So that's what I'm happy about.
Love it. Flip the dice. Other side. What would you say are Kairos most challenged with today?
Staffing, actually. But I've been very fortunate. Again, I believe it's how I take care of my team.
Mm, mhm,
Um, but right now, as everyone I'm sure is aware, just competing, particularly if you're trying
mhm,
to attract new team members, it's easy for I mean, I pay well above the going rate for this type of position, because
good
I
job.
I truly value
Mm,
my team. They're not just assistants or secretaries or
mhm,
front desk.
mm,
They are important team members, and I value
mm,
that, and so I will pay them for that. um, on the other hand, if people are not motivated to stay, and not just by money just doesn't seem to
mm,
keep people, but they got to truly love where they're working. They
mhm,
got to have a purpose, just like I do, and they got to see that they're
mm,
contributing and changing people's lives.
mm.
And I think that is where, that's why they love working here, really. So,
Well, that's a good problem to have when you say staffing. I mean, obviously you have you have people rolling through the door, and that's what you want, right? And so, talk to us a
right.
little bit about how do you get people how do you secure healthy relationships with clients today? Like, how do you bring them in through the door and then have them go, yes, we're going to align with one of your programs, and we're going to be committed to? How do you secure a healthy client relationship, and of course, one that's consistent and long term?
Well, I think just being genuine, just tell them
Mm,
what you have, what you got to offer.
hmm
Um, are they in the right place? Is
hmm
chiropractic actually the right thing for them or
hmm
not?
hmm
Sometimes you're better off just to refer a patient to someone else who's, it's a better fit. But I think just being really, upfront, honest, genuine, and then show them what you have. Uh,
hmm
Show them the technology. I honestly believe right now, of every 9 out of 10 patients that walk in the door, 8 of those 10 have been to another chiropractor. Okay. And they're maybe looking for something new, or they've moved new into the area. And when I perform my exams with, it's called the Insight, um, they're blown away just by that technology. Well, like I said, we've got something even better. So when you
hmm
can show them what's going on, and then show them the improvements, and then why they may want to stay on for care for longer, once their symptoms have been relieved, and they understand, then they usually go, you know what, my health is worth it. I can afford to put whatever it is, $50 a month aside, or $100 a month for my health. But they have to see the value, and it has to be within their value system. I realize, some people don't have $50 to
hmm
put away every month, but a lot of people do. And
hmm
so I focus on that. And those who don't, you know what, I will take care of you until you've achieved what you want. If pain
hmm
relief is what you want, I'll deliver it. And you know what, if I can help you in the future, awesome. But they get to decide.
there's just so much energy about you. Like we're all picking up on this. Um, just for half a minute or maybe two, share with us all about where do you get your energy from? And sometimes when you and I are on a call, you say to me, "Okay, James, I got the canoe loaded on the Jeep. I'm heading out somewhere." And so share with us a little story or just what enlivens you in nature and so we can tap into that a little bit. Cause I think that's a very important part of who you are.
It's interesting. I mean, I was just, thinking back to the
Mm,
to the first days that I can remember. I was super excited about watching the sunrise. So
mm,
much so, I can remember when I was 5 years old, I was living in Germany, and I grabbed my blanket off my bed, and we were living in an apartment on the third floor.
mhm,
And I was so excited to see the sunrise. I
mhm,
went down the three flights of stairs, and there's an apartment door that nobody locked doors back then, but
mhm.
I crawled up on the front step and put the blanket around me and watched the sunrise, and then I fell asleep.
Wow.
And one of my neighbors said, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" I said, "Oh, I watched the sunrise." And my parents had no idea that I, snuck out and said, "Well, you better get back in." And they knock on the door, and my parents answer the door, and they said, "What? Where were you?" I said, "Oh, I was outside watching the
Mhm,
sunrise."
mhm,
So ever
mhm.
since then, I really appreciate watching the sunrise. It
Mm,
gives me energy. So when I'm out in nature, I'm up early. Um, I still get up early to exercise. I feel fueled by watching the
mm,
sunrise. There's just
mm,
something, it's divine. It's there
mm,
for us to
mhm.
enjoy. And darn it, half the population sleeps through it. It's sad.
Yeah. There you go. So listeners, the next time morning rolls around, set your alarm that it'll kind of get you shaking just before, the sun pokes through, or even when the sun sets, whatever it
Mhm.
ends up being, just take the moment and just be perhaps grateful that you get to take this in, and perhaps you do a bit of like a gratitude, meditation, whatever you do, and maybe
Yeah.
go for a little walk. It's like, I know the last time you and I talked, you were saying you'd hiked up Whistler Mountain and you'd made it up, whatever it was, in a certain period of time. And then you thought, I can go down the same path, but why, instead of me taking the same path that's kind of like nice and honed out, why don't I go down and choose something different? And of course, you had some running shoes on and you ended up on your butt sliding down part of the way, but you had a really nice time and you made it down. Of course, down is always a little quicker than up, right? Especially if you have some fun doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I genuinely appreciate. So one thing I like to do now is I'd like to kind of transition into, and I just call this the power round, where I ask you specific questions on, if you could help us all understand, how would we mature that inner achiever forward? We're all about achieving things in life. There's nothing wrong with it. I think sometimes we get stuck in a certain pattern and we think, well, achievement looks like this. And that's when oftentimes it just gets frankly boring. There's not much excitement. Perhaps you need to go and peek your head outside, go take a blanket and get up really early, sneak out, whatever it is we got to do. But I think to mature the inner achiever forward, we have to focus on a few things. And I've just crafted a few questions here. So this is like popcorn style. I'm going to ask you, fire away, just like in, out, in, out. Okay. So
Yeah.
the first question, for you to mature that inner achiever forward, to draw you forward, what specific inner expansion do you know that you'll have to embrace in order to go to that next level in life? And not level as in like hierarchy, it's better, but it's just like you're called to this. What inner expansion do you know you have to embrace?
Discipline.
Discipline.
Have to be
Love it.
disciplined. Yeah, it's just if we talked about that the other day. It's a and actually picked it up off of another audiobook. It's
Mm,
called Discipline is Destiny. And the more I listen to it, I'm like, holy cow, that's right on mark. Like
yeah.
it's really it's about discipline. We can all be lazy, but the
Right.
people who get
Right.
ahead, the achievers, they're
Right.
disciplined.
Right. So good. What do you have to learn?
What do I have to learn? Well, I got a lot to learn. However, um, I think with discipline, you learn more. You
Mm,
keep realizing that, wow, this stuff really works. And now the more disciplined you are, the more
mm,
time and freedom you actually have.
mhm,
It seems
mhm.
contradictory, but it's true. I think that's what I have to learn, is to accept that.
I love that. Love that. Learn that you have the capacity that to take in more things makes you more energetic, not less. It doesn't take up space. It actually
Right.
serves you, right? I love that. What do you have to unlearn? So on the flip side, there's the learn part, but what do
Mhm.
you have to unlearn?
To unlearn, I would say that I felt before that being really organized and structured and scheduled, it felt was very constraining to me
Mm,
mentally. But in
mhm,
reality, now
mm,
that I have my schedule mapped out weekly and yearly now, even I can tell you what I'm doing a year from now and where the triathlon's going to be.
mhm.
It actually gives me freedom.
There you
So
go.
so I had to unlearn that scheduling was not constricting, it was freeing.
Scheduling is freedom. Scheduling is
Yeah,
freedom because that's how,
weird, hey?
like you said, destiny, and discipline. This is how it ties together. I love that. It is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Where do you need to hold on just a little tighter? Hold on a little
Oh,
tighter.
learning some lessons here with
Mm,
managing my business. So one of the things, recently came up was I had a change in my bookkeeper.
mm,
So transition went, new team, and then I recognized there were a couple of mistakes, and I'm like, hold it, I haven't been looking at my own books myself,
mm,
like I used to, because I just
mm,
totally trusted what the new person was doing. Basically, found a couple of mistakes and like, hold it, I need to keep a little closer eye on my
mm,
business. Right. I mean, it's easy just to be a chiropractor and go through the motions and
mhm,
take care of everyone
mhm,
and love everyone.
mhm,
But the
mhm,
business aspect, this is what I'm learning more from you than anything, James.
mhm,
I need to spend a little more time on my business, not
mm,
just in my business.
mhm, mhm. Well,
So
you're
that's a
clearly,
wake up call.
I love that. Clearly one of the things that I appreciate deeply about you is long before you pump yourself full of like, I'm a business owner, you really serve as a business operator in a really rich way. And I see this all the
Yeah.
time with people that I work with. They want to move to business ownership, but they don't properly attend to operating their business well. Right. And so if you don't have a passion
Yeah.
for what you do and just want to own, you're not gonna learn what it takes to really support someone at a specific level. And so absolute, I think you got in my opinion, you got a good quality challenge. Listen, your clients, they feel that you're with them. Now you just got to get also with the books, like you say. You know what I mean? So I think you're doing a
Yeah.
great
And so
job.
that's,
Yeah. Mhm.
I, I'm not sure if it was yourself, but again, I do some chiropractic coaching as well.
Mhm.
Um, and I will throw that out there. If you don't have a coach, man, you need one. Like
Yeah.
it's imperative.
Mhm.
My I think I got this from you originally, but transitioning from business operator owner to CEO, right?
Mhm.
Become
Mhm.
an owner of the business and have
Mhm.
and be able to leverage some of my time. That's another big lesson for me is I have to start looking forward, like succession planning,
Mhm.
right? What does
Mhm.
that mean? And I think all of us business owners need to think about that.
Mhm. Mhm. What do you need to let go of just a little sooner? So we talked about holding on, but now
Mhm.
holding on, and it's not the kind of holding on we're talking about isn't the white knuckling holding on. It's just kind of like, holding on to a little nicer. What do you need to let go of just a little sooner?
Well, I need to let go of the chiropractor title and be more of an more of
Mm,
the CEO, like run
mm,
the business
mm,
and have other people come in and do what I can do, hopefully as well or if not better, right? We always want to replace ourselves with someone better than ourselves. So I think that's what I need to let go of is the fact that I have to do everything.
mm,
Well, I
mhm,
think it's time to let
mhm,
go of some of that.
mhm. Yeah, there is. I love that. There is a way to be a really good operator. But let's be honest, if you're an operator and an owner, you're going to need to let go of some of, like you say, like the role or the title, because you're going to want to work inside your business, on your business, because let's be honest, there's care that you're putting into not just your client, but care you're putting into yourself, that you value, the practice that you have. And of course, the succession planning. Why? It isn't just so that you can care for people today, but you want to make sure, and I love this about you want to make sure that your like that physical building or your practice, for example, that'll be able to serve clients well into the future, long after you're gone, setting up for that. And I think that's just a wonderful play. Derrick, it's been an absolute joy to have you on. At some point in time, perhaps we'll have to have you on again. Tell us, where can people find you and find you? Yeah, where can people, do you have a website? Where can people tap into some of who you are, have a conversation with you, come in for an adjustment, or other business leaders, chiros, if they want to reach out to you, where can people find you?
Yes, my office is called Meadowood Family Chiropractic Center. It's in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in St. Vital. You know, we have a website, meadowoodchiropractic.com. We are on Facebook as well. So I'm sure that's probably enough to get in touch with me. And the phone number, I don't know if we need to put that over the air here, but it's 204-255-6666. And I'm more than open to looking and helping with new graduates who maybe want to, or even prospective chiropractors, business owners, entrepreneurs. Come and get a taste of what running your business is like. Tell you what, you can get a great feel for it in like a couple hours. And I'm always open to that. If someone wants to come in, and spend some time, great. If you want to spend a little time over a lunch, I'm open to that too. I'm willing to share what I have, and if it's helpful, I obviously hope it is. If it's not, that's okay. At least you took a peek and see what it's about, what I'm about, what chiropractic is about. And for prospective clients, you're more than welcome. Just have to pick up the phone and take action, as you say.
Yeah, that's awesome. So hey, listen, are you actually saying that you'd be willing to onboard another chiro in your office? Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's quite interesting. I had a dream. I still have a dream, and that is to serve and educate people about the power of the human body and how chiropractic fits in there. And I really believe that our society has taken a step back from natural health, and we really need mentally and physically to get back to natural health. So, if there is another chiropractor who would love to join our office, we do have room for another chiropractor, and in many different fashions. If you're new, I can help you grow. We're super busy, but yet, we make time for new patients, and I would make time for another chiropractor. And the reason is I have a torch to pass on. I want someone who's like really wanting to love and learn what chiropractic can really do, and carry that torch and carry the profession onward. That's the reason.
Yeah, like I said, we can go on forever, and listeners, you're going to want to, when I think forever is a long time, but you want to have a great experience. And when it's regarding chiro, if you are a chiro, if you want to see what maybe your future looks like, I would strongly suggest check out Derrick and some of his work and see if that's an environment that you can see yourself aligning with, partnering with, whatever it looks like. Have a conversation with Derrick and then see where it goes. So Derrick, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I love the background you have. I said to you earlier, it seems like I'm there with you in nature, and I always feel that way with you. So I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the flip side. James Hepner here. Thank you so much for listening to Ferocious Achiever. If you are a successful owner, founder, C-suite executive, or CEO who would like to be on this program, please visit us at www.ferociousachiever.com. Near the top of the page, you'll see our Ferocious Achiever lion logo. And right next to that lion logo, to the right-hand side, you'll see a little blue box that when you scroll over top and click on it, it'll take you directly to that guest booking page. Now, if you got something out of this interview, would you share this episode on social media? Or send it via email or text? Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on your socials. If you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media or send them an email or a text. Let them know about the show and include the hashtag Ferocious Achiever. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions, so please don't be shy. Now, we regularly put new content, new episode out, and we do this consistently. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up, ratings, reviews, those things all go a long way to help promote the show and mean a lot to me and my team. You want to know more? Simply go to the website www.jameshepner.com or follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. And here's something that you don't want to miss. If you want to stop the self-sabotage
You want to raise your standards and participate with unshakable confidence? You will want to take the Maximize Your Life quiz now, found at www.jameshepner.com/quiz. By taking this little quiz, you will discover exactly where you're making your life unnecessarily difficult and exactly where your behaviors are cutting you off from the outcomes and goals you crave most. Your quiz results will pinpoint with precise accuracy the exact areas to focus on. This will immediately activate your ability to use your time and resources effectively and instantly set you on your path to create higher level gains with less strain. Why not get down to the base and discover the truth about what's controlling your life right now? I challenge you, take a few minutes. You owe it to yourself. You're worth it, and your experience of life depends on it. Give yourself the gift by honoring yourself and taking 5 minutes to invest in yourself. Take the Maximize Your Life quiz now, again found at www.jameshepner.com/quiz. And finally, set yourself on the path that will lead you directly to what you want and need most now. Until next time, peace out, rock up.